Just getting ready to do some processing here. This is the last 2 days worth of catches that I've managed to take. Don't have a whole lot of traps out right now. Waiting till after the deer season finishes up here. I don't want to interrupt any of the hunting that any of my brother and sister sportsmen are doing out there, so I'm trying to be respectful. Plus, I don't want to necessarily compete with all the gut piles. But there was one thing that I would like to bring up in this. Now, these are beautiful animals, and those 3 red foxes I took off of a property that last year was the first time it had been trapped in that region, and it was just being decimated by mange. And I took 30 foxes out of about a 6,000 acre property last year, and out of the 30 foxes, there were probably a dozen reds, and out of the dozen reds, 100% of them were manged up. Now you can see they're just, beautifully healthy animals. Actually bumped into an old timer that had quail hunted out here for years and years, and he was hunting woodcock actually, and he said that it was the first time in 30 years that he had seen quail on that property. So the ecosystem's coming back into order there. But worth noting, I got into another property that has never been trapped, and got the permit by the state to go in and do some predator control on it, and this is part of the reason why. It's about a 3,000 acre property that's surrounded by a lot of private estates and horse farms and stuff, so there's really no predator management. There's no hunting that goes on in that area, and so on that property you don't see rabbits, you don't see squirrels, you don't see quail, you don't see turkeys. Most of the ducks and other wildlife that try to nest there in the spring get decimated. But on top of that, here we go. I pulled 13 foxes off of that property in the last week, and 12 of them have just been being decimated by mange. And I love to hunt and trap, but I also like to see a really healthy ecosystem and healthy foxes. And as a sportsman and a pet owner, mange isn't just a fox deal. It'll transition over, and it'll get into our pets and get into the dogs and whatnot. So it's something that, unfortunately, the only way to manage it is to put the animals back into balance and eradicate the mange. So I figured that this was worth pointing out in case there's any question as to why we trap. Aside from the getting out and enjoying the outdoors, there is a real functional piece to managing the wildlife. So that's what they got on that property, and hopefully in about a year this is what we'll be looking at. Some real beautiful specimens of red and gray foxes. So 2 days, 7 foxes in 20 sets, so it's doing pretty good. More to come.